Hello, my name is Ranger Tony Weber. I'm a park ranger with the National Park Service here at Little Rock Central High School, National Historic Site. And this year marks the 60th commemoration of Little Rock Central High School's desegregation. And we talk about how 9 children changed the face of American history when they volunteered to desegregate the previously all-white Central High School in the fall of 1957. So this month actually marks the 60th anniversary, and we're going to start festivities from the 4th all the way to September the 25th, in which we commemorate those 9 students and also the presidential actions that lead for this to be a national park site. This is the first time since Reconstruction that federal troops are used to enforce the rights of African Americans since Reconstruction. And it also starts the strategy of the civil rights movement. Get reporters here, get the media here so the rest of the world can watch. And you can see the same strategy used during the Montgomery bus boycotts, during the Birmingham Children's March, and the Bloody Sunday from Selma to Montgomery in 1965. But it all starts here in 1957 when these 9 kids volunteered to go to Central High School.
I said I'd never forget Mrs. Pickwick, I think is her name. Anyway, she was the dearest woman that ever lived because it was only in her class every day that I felt safe. She was very tiny, but anybody who walked near me, she'd say, no, 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 you move over here. And that was from the first day I was ever there. When that first Monday I went inside the school and had to be pulled out. This woman was a tower of strength. Yes, there were white students in there who came at us with knives, acid in my eyes. My publisher stripped out 40% of the horror because he said nobody could survive, stand to read it. And we were frightened. People were shooting in our house. I mean, people were getting bombed. Some of the 9 were getting bombs in their houses. And we couldn't go to the store. We couldn't go out. We couldn't go anywhere. I couldn't go to the community center to play cards, for heaven's sake, or listen to music. I couldn't go anywhere.
My English teacher, and I can't remember her name, but it'll be easy to find in the records. She was so terribly unwelcoming. She said to me one day, "Why do you want to come to our school? Why don't you go back to your own school?"
We were told by the commanding officer that they were there to not allow us to go in.
So we went up there and tried to get past the guard, and they kept blocking our attempts to go in.
I wished every day that those white kids had as much guts as we had to say, this is my school, I don't like this, I won't tolerate this, I want this to change. Instead, what we hear them saying is, the Little Rock 9 ruined their year. Well, sorry folks, maybe it was your mom and dad out there screaming obscenities who messed up your year. It certainly wasn't us.
Minnie Jean and Melba and I were waiting on my mother to pick us up after school. We went down to 14th Street entrance. There's some white boys outside packing rocks in snow. thrown inside at us.
I remember there was a pack of press in front of me with cameras in my face and people howling directly behind me. I felt like they were right on my heels.
There's a picture taken by Will Counts of when the first day when we were stopped there, and the utter disbelief in my eyes. Of course, no one else can know what I was thinking, but I remember that, and I just remember that this cannot be happening.
There would be nobody to take care of me, and there would be no one who cared enough about me to keep me safe somehow. And that, I think, was just a feeling of total vulnerability all the time.
You were, going to be hassled in phys ed. That was a place where you braced yourself for a whole series of things, from throwing hot towels to broken glass to, a lot of verbal abuse.
There were a lot of silent witnesses. In fact, the majority of them were silent witnesses. Because, I say that because most of the attacks on us happened in the hallway. Majority of them happened in the hallways. I remember when we were scalded in the gym shower. Back then they didn't have any partitions in the gym shower. It was just open. But I didn't hear a peep out of the girl on the right of me or the left of me. So they had to have been warned before the water turned suddenly scalding hot.
And I could hear the group across the street, right there at the mobile station, screaming and hollering and all that sort of thing. But I heard it, but it didn't dawn on me that it was an unsafe place.
Thank you.